before action starts due to injury. Tim Sorensen was then called in, but he crashed out of last night's under-21 meeting after colliding with, you follow me, with Sweden's Alexander Wontim. To get it out then before tape. I've never heard anything like that, I don't think. Well, no, we're really glad to see Fredrik Jakobsen, obviously former Paul Pirate rider. Ty Woffinden there, getting ready. I see I have plenty of time after racing through that, don't I?
No problem at all.
Quick question on Ty, because we have mentioned him throughout the show, but only in comparison to where everybody else is. You know, Ty seems to be the man because he holds that sixth position. Where will he be looking?
He's going to be... He needs to pull some points out of the bag. What
would you do in sixth position?
It's a tough one, but he's got pride at stake and he's going to want to come out and win tonight and show people what he's capable of.
All right, here we go then. Heat 1 with Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson, who've got all your action.
Hi there again. Yes, so heat number 1 is where we're at with Mikkel Mikkelsen of Denmark off the inside. A fellow Dane Anders Thomsen going off gate number 2. It's Ty Woffinden of Great Britain going off gate number 3, and Max Frick going off the outside. Such an iconic venue. This Vojens Speedway Centre was the venue for the last ever one-off world final back in 1994. Won by Tony Ricardson, of course, in a brilliant night of speedway. Hopefully we'll get something similar tonight after the covers have been on earlier on in the day to protect the circuit from the rain. We'll see how it goes. Kelvin Tatum, MBE, alongside me as always. Ty Woffinden. Well, what on earth is he doing there? And the race has started, and Ty Woffinden suddenly slips through into second spot. He punished himself there, but the lead here is Mikkel Mikkelsen, and Woffinden with a clever little run up the inside. Well, that was an unfair start. The referee, Craig Ackroyd, has let it go because he thought Woffinden had punished himself. But what a move into second spot.
I can't quite believe what I've just witnessed, to be honest, Nigel, because he moved clearly before the tapes have gone up. Mikkelsen is out in front. He pulled a massive wheelie down the back straight. The track is actually quite dusty at this early stage. Quite clearly the covers have kept it dry, and they haven't watered heavily since, because there is you sense, looking at the sky, there is threat of rain around. But Mikkelsen out in front. Woffinden a touch fortunate to be in second place, pushing hard in second place. But the Danes are going to be delighted. They're going to have a homegrown winner in heat number 1.
European champion Mikkel Mikkelsen guaranteed a spot in next year's series. But Ty Woffinden moved at the start.
Did he ever?
Cost him, was at the back, and then one smart move up the inside. Managed to get him past Thomsen and Frick into second spot for 2 points. A remarkable start to the meeting. But what about that from Mikkel Mikkelsen? British viewers will remember him from Eastbourne, and he had a brief spell at Leicester as well. Mikkelsen, Woffinden, Frick in third place, and Anders Thomsen at the back. Disappointment for Thomsen, the local lad who really fancied a big night tonight. But it's a Danish winner for the first race, Mikkel Mikkelsen. Be interesting to see the start once again.
Well, yeah, there's no surprises, because Woffinden actually moves. Well, he's very lucky not to have touched the tapes. He's miles behind, but actually it does him a real favour, because Anders Thomsen and Max Frick run wide. And I don't think Ty would have made a worse start in his career, but he actually comes away with 2 points, because Anders Thomsen and Max Frick actually go too wide. Mikkelsen was showboating right from the very word go there, and actually nearly threw it away at the end of the back straight. Plumes of dust kicking up here in heat number 1.
Campaign. Heat number 2 is coming up in Vojens right now, and quite a lineup to look forward to, with Laguta going off the outside up against his fellow countryman Emil Saifudinov going off the inside gate here in heat number 2. And Laguta, every race vital. It's game on in the title race right now between him and Bartosz Zmarzlik. Saifudinov off the inside, then Kasperzak of Poland, then Zega of Slovenia, and then Laguta going off the outside run. Good crowd at the Vojens Speedway Centre tonight, one of the sport's most iconic venues down the years. Many, many memorable moments, world finals, and indeed GPs and World Cup finals as well. And going into that first turn, Laguta sweeps around the outside from gate 4, and he makes it look so simple. Saifudinov is second right now. Third is Mate Zegar, but now almost a clash between the two fellow countrymen at the top of the race here.
What a start once again from Laguta. I was just going to say, While you were rambling on over the start line there, Nigel, was that how good has Laguta been this year? And once again, its normal service resumed for the Russian, although he very nearly just slipped up there on the opening lap. He's out in front. The two Russians are dominating. Zagar back in third place. But Laguta, a genuine championship contender, keeping Smarslik well and truly up to his work. Saifutinov pushing hard in second place, but Artem Laguta is having the season of his life.
He is indeed. He's a real deal. Saifutinov will try one last swoop around the outside, but Laguta, magnificent. He made it look so simple going from gate number 4, swept around the outside run, and he is looking to keep the pressure on Smarslik for Torun in 3 weeks' time, when we have back-to-back rounds to round off the World Championship Series, and Laguta hoping to claim his first ever world title and deny Bartosz Smarslik a third straight title. So the result of heat number 2, Artem Laguta the winner, Emil Saifutinov was second, Zagar was third, and Kasprzak trailing in at the back. A great ride from Zagar, made it look so simple from the outside run, Kel.
Well, Laguta actually, not Zagar, but I'll forgive you that.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you did. Zagar was actually in third place. But he came out of gate number 3. But once again, the customary brilliant start from Laguta, 222 out in front. Got to say, Saifutinov had plenty of pace here and very nearly sneaked up the inside. Bit of argy-bargy there as they completed the first lap. But despite the fact that Saifutinov possibly was a touch quicker here, Laguta rode that inside line. It's a little slick, it's a little bit dusty, but we don't care because we've got speedway and it's not raining. I wouldn't hold your breath because it can rain at any moment in Vojens. But for 222 and Laguta, he starts with the 3 points. And Saifutinov, well, you've got to believe he's pushing hard for third in the world. He's just behind, coming into tonight, he's just behind Freddie Lindgren. So plenty to race for Emil tonight.
Reminder before tonight, Bartosz Smarslik 139, Artem Laguta 138, and in the race for bronze, as you alluded to a little bit earlier, Kelv, Lindgren 108, Saifutinov 105. So plenty to look forward to over the final 3 rounds of the series. Here's the leader, Bartosz Smarslik in the yellow helmet. Can he replicate what Artem Laguta just did from gate number 4? In heat number 3. Here we go. Robert Lambert of Great Britain off the inside. Good to see Martin Vasilik back after missing a couple of rounds through injury. Freddie Lindgren goes off gate number 3 in white. Meets a Garslik of Poland. A real natural talent on a speedway bike, taking the sport to new levels, I would suggest, with some of his performances. It's like exhibition speedway at times when you watch Bartosz Smarslik. Here we go, heat number 3, clean getaway, and into that first turn. Robert Lambert goes well, but watch out for Smarslik now in yellow. Down the outside, Robert Lambert loses control momentarily there, and thankfully he didn't collide with Smarslik. Lindgren's third, but Bartosz Smarslik, you would expect him to really kick on from here now.
Yeah, looking good once again, gate number 4. It's a long way from gate 4 in Vojens, but it's worked well here early doors, and Smarslik made the best of it. Lambert was there and very nearly lost control as he came out of the first corner. Freddie Lindgren pushing hard in third place. There'll be a lot of water put on this. There's no question that Phil Morris, the race director, will literally plough water on this in the interval between heats 4 and 5. Martin Vasilik finding Grand Prix tough on his return from injury. World Championship leader, the world champion, out in front, but not by very far.
No, Lambert's having a go here, to be fair to him. He's struggled in recent rounds, but Lambert keeping the pressure on Bartosz Smarslik, who gets the victory. A good ride, replicating Artem Laguta, his title rival from the previous race, with a good start from the outside run. And well done, Robert Lambert of Great Britain, had a real go there.
Encouraging.
Yep. Lindgren in third spot, the bronze medal contender, but Bartosz Smarslik, business as usual for him in heat number 3. Smarslik, Lambert, Lindgren, Vasilik, your finishing order from the third race of the night in Vojens. And yeah, a bit of dust kicking around, but the thing is, Kelv, if they look at the sky, there might be a threat of rain. He may just be hesitant to put too much on.
He hasn't been in the past. Here we go, the tapes are up and he charges to the first corner, and it's all about Bartosz Smarslik and Robert Lambert early doors. Down the back straight they go the first time, but Lambert just has to just come out of the throttle momentarily because he was lifting towards the world champion. Smarslik pushes on, wins, but Lambert keeps him right up to his work. But A good start for Zmarzlik. We haven't always seen that in this year's campaign, despite the fact that since Wroclaw he's been the worst place he's finished. Is second. It needs to come up with something pretty special either tonight or in the 2 remaining rounds in Torun.
Heat number 4 coming up. Leon Madsen will have plenty of support tonight in Vojens, that's for sure. He's off gate 2 in the blue helmet colour. Jason Doyle off the inside, 2017 world champion. Leon Madsen off gate number 2. Oliver Berntsson of Sweden, gate number 3, has really struggled to make an impression in his debut Grand Prix campaign. And then off the outside, Maciej Janowski of Poland started so well this year, but certainly tailed off. And that's his Achilles heel, a lack of consistency.
Yeah, such a shame. He's such a top quality rider. Was leading the World Championship early doors, made such a fantastic start to the campaign. But then suddenly, unfortunately, reverted to type and has slipped away. Madsen hasn't had a great series either. He's outside the top 6. He's in 7th. But he's got a lot of work to do to close in on Tai Woffinden. Home Grand Prix looking for a big night.
He is indeed, but gate number 4 again, starting nicely. Maciej Janowski, the lead though is with Doyle, who goes wide. And Madsen charges up the inside in blue. He's spotted the gap, spotted the opportunity, and a great move from the Dane in Denmark tonight. Doyle is second right now, charging hard as Janowski in the yellow helmet, trying to get past Oliver Berntsson. But what about that move? A real smart move from Leon Madsen, and now Janowski charges up into 3rd.
Yeah, Leon Madsen took the opportunity with Doyle running really wide to stop the run from Janowski around the outside. The door was opened. Madsen pounced and fired himself to the front. He'll be delighted with that. Doyle's hanging on for 2nd place. A scrap for 3rd with Janowski just about stamping his authority on that over Berntsson. But out in front, Madsen, who didn't make a great start, let's be honest, from gate number 2. He's going to win this race, and the Danes will have 2 wins in the first 4 races. Good stuff.
Yeah, the home fans are absolutely delighted. It's Denmark's own Leon Madsen taking the checkered flag in the blue helmet colour. Jason Doyle holding out for 2nd spot there, but they do love their speedway in Vojens, and they love it when the Danes deliver the goods. Leon Madsen in blue in heat number 4 and spotted the gap. Kelv took his opportunity.
Yeah, he did, and he just swept through to the front up the inside of Doyle, who really pushed hard in the first corner. But Madsen out in front, he'll be chuffed with that. Didn't make a good start from gate 2, but won the race nonetheless.
Doyle in 2nd and Janowski in 3rd after passing Oliver Berntsson. The race winners so far: Bartosz Zmarzlik, Leon Madsen, Artem Laguta and Mikkel Mikkelsen.
Well, the first 4 heats have done that.
Speedway Centre. Yeah.
Good to see
venue.
Mark Lemon there,
yes.
actually the Australian team manager, and of course Bellevue Aces team manager. He's in the audience tonight in attendance. Of course, we've got the clash of the riders going for 3rd place here, with Saifutinov also out with Freddie. Mikkel Mikkelsen doing some gardening there. Impressive in the opening race, but he goes from gate 2. Janowski's got to find that spark, Nige. He was so good at the beginning of the season, and we know how well he can ride. He really is a spectacular rider on his night, but recently it hasn't been the case. But a good, strong line up here. Everybody keenly looking on.
Yes, heat number 5 it is then. Here we go. Away from the start, into that first turn. It's a good start from Maciej Janowski. Charging into the inside though is Mikkel Mikkelsen, and now Freddie Lindgren in yellow as well. And remarkably, Maciej Janowski has gone from 1st to last. Saifutinov now with Janowski really pushing hard at the back right now to try and come around Saifutinov. But what about this from Mikkel Mikkelsen? Guaranteed a spot in next year's GP Series, and looking good for 2 out of 2 as Janowski goes wide.
Oh, the track's difficult, Nige. It's been watered heavily on the outside, and you can see how dirty the riders are. Really is difficult. On the inside, it's fine. Mikkelsen made a great start, and he's away. Oh. You could look at the state of Janowski. Look, he's absolutely covered. It's slippery, and they are literally hanging on there, desperately trying to find the way through. Saifutinov's got some pace in 3rd place, but they are struggling with conditions there. That really is difficult. Mikkelsen's making light of it. He's out in front. He's going to go back-to-back wins. 6 points, that's for him.
Mikkel Mikkelsen, great start from the Danish fans, understandably are elated with the start made by their man, Mikkel Mikkelsen, European champion, and in the series next year. So great stuff from him, and
Wow.
Showing promising signs for next year that he can make an impact.
Hairy race, though, wasn't it?
Yes.
They were all over the place.
All over the place, absolutely. Freddie Lindgren in second spot there. Emil Sayfutinov was third, and Matsej Janowski at the back. But it's 2 wins out of 2 for Mikkel Mikkelsen, and the Dane is top of the pile right now, although riders around him, of course, have a race in hand because we're in the early stages of the second batch of 4 heats. The second round of rides for each individual competitor.
Janowski makes the start. Watch it. Watch it. Runs wide. Goes from first to last in the blink of an eye. He's had 2 rides. He has not scored. That's a desperate start for Janowski, who is a genuine world-class rider, multiple Grand Prix. I'll tell you what, Sayfutinov does well to stay up there. I mean, he was going backwards. He was going backwards. That was unbelievable. And the riders in second, third and fourth, particularly third and fourth, are really having a difficult time. They'd watered it on the outside and it was slippery. And where the track's so dry underneath, when you water late, it makes conditions difficult. Not an easy one for the race director, I know that, because of the rain that they had earlier today with the covers on. But Mikkel Mikkelsen out in front, made light of conditions, won nicely. Freddie Lindgren just blowing his cheeks out, delighted with 2 points there.
Yes, very much so. As we build up to heat number 6 now here, and clash of a couple of Danes with Leon Madsen and Anders Thomsen. Robert Lambert is going off gate number 2, who rode pretty well his opening ride, the British boy from Norfolk.
Needs a big finale to the season, Knights. He's had not a great year in the Grand Prix. It hasn't been a great season all round, in truth. His defence of the European Championship didn't go as well as he would have liked. I do sense if he's going to get a pick for next year, he needs to do something spectacular.
Madsen off the inside here. Can he make it 2 wins out of 2 like Mikkelsen did? Lambert off gate number 2. Anders Thomsen bitterly disappointed to get a 0 return in his opening ride. He's off gate 3. And the Slovenian Matej Zegar going off the outside run. And Zegar's a little nibble. Robert Lambert has been left standing at the start.
Surely a red light.
Yes, they're on.
Yeah, good news. Craig Ackroyd, the referee from the UK. Red light's on. Got to say that there was plenty of movement there and an untidy start. No surprise. Rightly, the red light comes on there. Zegar moved early here. Doesn't touch the tapes. And then for some reason, Robert Lambert doesn't drop the clutch at all.
Yeah. Warning for yellow. How close did he get to the tapes?
I don't know what Robert Lambert was thinking there, because actually, from his point of view, nothing really happened. He's unaware of what Zegar's doing.
Well, he's moving his left...
But he doesn't drop the clutch.
No.
I mean, he does it about half an hour late.
Half an hour? Yeah, very quickly, Craig Ackroyd.
I think Robert Lambert's fortunate for a restart. That man there clearly will have a warning, which is the regulations now. There'll be a minute. Quite disappointing. Here we go. Green light's on.
Yep, restart. Here we go. That's better. They get away first time, and Madsen's made a beauty off the inside gate. Now Lambert tries the inside run with Thomsen third, but that's a good start from Leon Madsen in the red helmet colour. Robert Lambert of Great Britain in second spot. Third is Anders Thomsen. Matsej Zegar of Slovenia is at the back, and this will do Leon Madsen very nicely. He's matching his fellow countryman Mikkel Mikkelsen on his way to a second straight win.
Beware the 6th Speedway rider, that's what I say. I would say you'd have a couple of days rest more often, Leon, because you're having a smashing night. You're going to go unbeaten, track's not too grippy, probably suiting him right down to the ground. Got away nicely from the inside. Robert Lambert in second. Anders Thomsen is going to pick up his first point on the night. And Matsej Zegar, once again, a disappointing ride for him. Leon Madsen, though, is going to delight the home crowd. And Mikkel Mikkelsen and Leon Madsen, the Danes are going to be loving it so far.
Danish delight in Vojens so far tonight. That is a great ride from Leon Madsen, who, as we say, has been feeling ill. And it was only this morning when he felt a little bit better that he finally decided, right, I'm good to go racing. Kept it fairly quiet, but he's doing the business, and 2 wins out of 2 for Leon Madsen, and he made it look very simple. He made the start, and he said that in his interview, didn't he, that it's so important for him to make the start, and he nailed it in that race.
Yeah, good start.
Number 6, yeah, from Lambert in second place. Anders Thomsen was third. And that means that Madsen and Mikkelsen are locked together on 6 points apiece.
Yeah, good stuff from Leon, and he'll be really pleased with this because quite clearly he had in a bit of a mental turmoil. He said he was stressed because he wasn't sure if he was well enough to race, but he's made the right decision, hasn't he? Because out of his first 2 rides, he's unbeaten. Makes a really good start there from gate number 1. Dominates the race from start to finish. A little bit of, well, it was quite tight from Robert Lambert, but Lambert really, in truth, was never going to pass Leon Madsen. Anders Thompson back in 3rd place. Matty Zagard, disappointment for him, failing to score. But Robert Lambert, you know, 2 points again, 4 points to his name in total. A solid start. Quite bizarre.
2 points. Yeah, still finished 2nd. How about that? Heat 7 it is then. That's where we're at right now. Martin Vaculik, who has returned tonight to the GP series from injury. It's good to see him back. Jason Doyle goes off gate number 2 from Australia. KK Christoph Kasperzak has been bitterly disappointing this year, and nobody been more disappointed than him. And Ty Woffenden going off the outside gate has got to behave himself this time.
He has, and otherwise he'll be thrown out of the race. He won't have the luxury of being able to move, miss the start and still finish 2nd. He will be excluded. Doyle, well, last time made a good start, but kind of went too wide in the first turn. Here we go.
Yep, they're away this time. Ooh. First time of asking, no problem. And up the inside comes Jason Doyle, really pushing Vaculik hard, but Vaculik holds the line. Good stuff from the Slovakian. Woffenden now trying the outside run, but Doyle holding the 2nd spot. Woffenden hanging on to 3rd ahead of Christoph Kasperzak. But Martin Vaculik back in the GP, back from injury, riding nicely.
Yeah, this is great for Martin because he was tailed off in the first race. Didn't land a blow, but he made a good start from the inside gate. Woffenden's beginning to make inroads on Jason Doyle. He ran wide in the first lap, but it didn't work. He's up the inside of Doyley, and Jason Doyle will have to really keep that covered if he wants to keep Woffenden behind him. But for Martin Vaculik, this is an encouraging ride, very encouraging, because he's had a difficult time getting over that collarbone injury, and he's going to win this race nicely.
Well, Woffenden has been trying the inside line to try and see if he can nip up the inside of Jason Doyle. The win is with Martin Vaculik. Doyle holds on for 2nd spot, and Woffenden will have to be content with a 3rd place and only a point to his name there in heat number 7. But Martin Vaculik rode nicely there. It's a good effort from him, back from injury tonight. Good to see him. And Doyle congratulates him after a good ride in race number 7. Good crowd in Vojens tonight, creating a nice atmosphere. And fingers crossed the rain does hold off for the rest of the night. Vaculik the winner, Doyle 2nd, Woffenden 3rd, and Christoph Kasperzak at the back in heat number 7.
Yeah, he was, and the misery continues for KK, and that's a shame for him. But on his return to the Grand Prix, but
one of the real greats of Danish Speedway, Hans Nielsen, was back on a bike in the week on a 125, and on his social media I saw a clip of it, and you can still tell it's Hans Nielsen, the old style, even on a 125, turning the bike. You could tell it was Hans Nielsen.
Disappointed he wasn't on a 5-er. But no, I'm sure Hans still looked the business. Such a wonderful rider.
Still looks like he's got his racing weight, Kel.
Yeah, very, very fit man. Here we go, Nige.
Yep, heat number 8 of the Danish Grand Prix. Max Frick of Australia off the inside. Now, what can Laguta do? He's off gate number 2. He won heat number 2. Smarsnik off 3. The title rivals side by side.
Big clash.
Oliver Berntsson going off the outside, and Berntsson I thought was going to have a nibble there. Laguta has dropped the clutch superbly, but it's the leader, Max Frick in red. He leads early on here. Laguta putting the pressure on. Bartosz Smarsnik is 3rd, and Smarsnik's going to try the inside run.
Laguta.
Here comes Laguta around the outside. Going into turn 3, that's a stunning swoop from Artem Laguta, who makes it look so simple as he breezes his way past Max Frick, who now is going to come under pressure from Bartosz Smarsnik.
Artem Laguta out in front. He has never ridden better. He is superb this season. That was a great move. And look how quick he is. He just swept round the outside of Max Frick, the first rider to do so, and has fired away out in front. Smarslik is stuck back in 3rd place, working overtime, trying to get the better of Max Frick. But this man, 222, out in front. Could it just be his year? super ride from Laguta.
Smarslik up the inside to the line. We go. Smarslik gets there.
That's him on the road to the line.
What a move.
Once again, the world champion doesn't know when he's beat. Frick will be desperately disappointed. And Bartosz Smarslik, superb effort coming out of the last corner. But for this man, early doors, sweeping round the outside to hit the front. Laguta winning again.
Laguta the winner, Smarslik second on the line, Frick was third, Oliver Berntsson at the back, and here's the leaderboard. After 8 races now in Denmark, Madsen, Laguta, Mikkelsen are maximum men.
What a heat 8 that was. Artem Laguta, a class out on his own, but Bartosz Smarslik showing that he's still there. We'll have all the reaction in the studio with Scott Nichols next. Speedway of Nations and picking the Great Britain squad.
Yeah, he's 100% going to be feeling the pressure, but he's got to try and let that ride over his head. You know, he did pick up there. He has had a couple of little mechanical problems. There's a few little problems with the engine that will have hampered it. So, you know, that can be a big weight off his shoulder as well, to know that it's perhaps not him. There was a little mechanical failure there, so he can take that as a positive for him.
Martin Vasilik got the win last time out. Let's see what he can do in this one. Great to see him back of Heat 9. Let's join Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
Let's go with Heat 9 then. Matti Zagar going off the inside gate on a warning, as is Oliver Berntsson of Sweden off gate 2. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the Dane, the European champion, unbeaten on 6 out of 6 so far, gate 3, and Martin Vasilik off gate number 4 in yellow. Riders have made it work from the outside run tonight. We'll see what Vasilik can do, or can Mikkelsen off gate 3 continue his winning run?
Yeah, Mikkelsen has been top draw so far, hasn't he? He's been fabulous and looking really sharp. Martin Vasilik has bounced back after failing to score and looks good. Looked good in his second ride. He'll be looking to capitalise on that. Matti Zagar, well, his form has been indifferent, and I think that's being kind. But for Martin Vasilik, after that that's a nasty collarbone injury, shoulder and shoulder blade injury, he's back, and he won his last race. Can he win another one now?
Yes, heat number 9 it is, and away they go, and Vasilik has made an absolute flyer from the outside run, but Zagar holds the line from gate number 1 in the red helmet colour, Matti Zagar of Slovenia. Then it is the man in yellow, Martin Vasilik, who made a great start. Berntsson third, and Mikkel Mikkelsen this time in the white helmet colour is at the back from hero to zero in his third outing.
Yeah, he went absolutely nowhere from gate number 3, just spun up, got no drive whatsoever, and he finds himself at the back. Zagar, who's been disappointing so far, made a great start from the inside, and Matti Zagar is looking great out in front, and just shows you how important it is to make starts here this evening. But Vasilik in second, he'll be relatively pleased with this and moving on to 5 points in his last 2 rides. But for Zagar, this is a super ride, and much more what we expect from him.
Yes, very classy when he's in front. He's got a nice style, Matti Zagar. We've seen that many times down the years. He's had a really long and impressive career. Second, Martin Vasilik, with Berntsson third, and Mikkel Mikkelsen that time trading in at the back. So it's 3-3-0 for Mikkel Mikkelsen. 6 points from 3 rides now for him. But that was a great ride from Matti Zagar of Slovenia.
Yeah.
Much needed for him as well, it has to be said, because he'd been disappointing until that particular moment. But that's much more like it. Zagar, Vasilik, Berntsson, the finishing order. And Vasilik on to 5 points from 3 rides. Mikkelsen is on 6, still at the top, but he's raced 1 more than his rivals now.
Exactly right. And for Zagar, that's a little bit of a respite from the tough times that he's been experiencing in the Grand Prix. I thought Martin Vasilik was going to get there, but he doesn't quite get across Zagar as they get to the first corner. You're looking at the back of Mikkel Mikkelsen. The bike just literally just did not dig in and go forward, and you can see as a consequence he failed to score. But for this man, you know, sometimes Speedway can be so frustrating. He's been probably working so hard to try and find the key to the speed, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, he just happened to be in the right place at the right time. and you make a start, you win the race quite comfortably. So 4 points, he's got a chance of the semi-finals. 5 points for that man after 3 outings. Gate 4 and gate 3 to come. Not easy, but you know.
Quite a lineup for heat number 10 coming up here. Jason Doyle is the man in the white helmet colour. But we've got the series leader Bartosz Zmarzlik going off the inside in red. I wonder how much concern there may be in the Zmarzlik camp because of the comprehensive margin of victory for Artem Laguta when they met. It really was stunning from Laguta. Bartosz Zmarzlik going off the inside. Emil Sayfutdinov going off gate number 2 in blue. Jason Doyle gate 3 white. And the Dane Anders Thomsen going off the outside gate in yellow. Chance for Zmarzlik now to respond. Of course, he just pinched second spot in that previous race. Now looking to bounce back with a victory. This is Sayfutdinov in the blue helmet colour. Watch out for Zmarzlik then, he's the man. All eyes are on him in red here. Away from the start, and he's made a good one from gate number 1. Sayfutdinov goes square in that first turn. It looked a little bit choppy and a little bit tricky, but it is Bartosz Zmarzlik with the lead, and Doyle now. Oh, Sayfutdinov goes down.
Ooh, that was hard. That was tough. Be interesting to see if there was any real contact there, but Jason certainly was very forthright in his move going into turn 3. You're right about Zmarzlik. He was a bit untidy through the first corner, but it didn't really hurt him, actually. He got a lot of speed. And this man has bounced up against the air fence. And Jason Doyle's move up the inside. I fear for Jason Doyle here. It may well be that the Australian gets thrown out of the race as a consequence. One of them will go. Difficult to see in real time whether there was actual contact.
Fair to say the ML camp are not happy with Jason Doyle's move.
No, and probably rightly so. Doyle on the outside here. Zmarzlik a little untidy, but doesn't really do it. He swaps to the inside and dive bombs there and charges up the inside. There was room. There was room.
I don't think there's any contact there.
Well, you can't really see from that angle.
No, I'm just saying I don't think there is.
No, but I think you'll find there might have been a little bit of contact with the dirt deflector. He definitely runs across in front of him, doesn't give him much option. It's a difficult one for Emil, but there was enough room initially, but there isn't a lot of option. I still fear for Doyle.
I can see why Jason went for it, though.
Yeah. But here's the problem there. There's
Doyle's gone.
Yeah, definite contact with the dirt deflector, and I can see it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, but I think Jason just made that decision just a little bit too late.
Yes, so Jason Doyle is excluded from the restart. Emil Sayfutdinov is okay.
Shame for Doyle because he started strongly. You know, he needed to. We heard from him in the interview. He was looking to try and make the top 6. This move now where he chops back to the inside with Sayfutdinov on the outside. Sayfutdinov on the racing line, but as a consequence of dive bombing and coming in narrow, you can't stop the bike then from sweeping wide, and as a consequence, he unsettles the Russian in the process. This is it. When he comes in here, he's coming in with a lot of speed. Look where they are. They're 3/4 track there.
Yes.
And unfortunately, he just doesn't quite get away with it. You can understand it. He saw the opportunity, but it just didn't quite work out for him.
Well, as a racer, Kelv, if that was you in white as Jason Doyle, you'd have gone for that gap, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you know, you're desperate for the points and you see the opportunity there. You've made that move down the back straight, but Vojens is a tight track and you run out of room quickly. And Sayfutdinov has been off on the receiving end a couple of times of difficult decisions, but we can see he's on the phone there, but I don't think it'll change anything.
Of course it won't. Never happens, does it? Doyle just making representations, and I think it's just frustration for Jason because the gap was there, he went for it, but there was definite contact from Jason's dirt deflector onto Emil's left foot.
Yeah.
You saw that from one particular replay angle.
And more than that, he's actually going right across the corner because he's coming so narrow. He's upset and frustrated, and he's taking out his frustration on Phil Morris, but Phil Morris doesn't make those decisions. It's the referee, and Craig Ackroyd has made his. But Ackroyd had to exclude one of them. Either way, he was going to upset a rider there, that's for sure.
Of course he was, absolutely. Hiding to nothing for a referee there. Somebody has to go. Craig Ackroyd from Lancashire in Great Britain has made his call.
But from the referee's point of view, he will see that Doyle has collided with Saifutinov and caused Saifutinov to go down, and that will be his rationale when it comes to the decision.
Absolutely. I mean, it sounds like I'm sitting on the fence here, but you can see why Jason went for it, and you can also see why Craig has made that decision.
Yeah, I don't think you're sitting on the fence. You're just pointing out the facts of what happened.
Yes.
You know, and the thing that, you know, as a racer down that back straight, Vojens is a tricky place. You can make a call like that and think it's perfectly okay, but you run out of room quickly here because it sharpens up. Those turns are quite tight, and suddenly where you think you've got loads of room, you run out of room, and that's exactly what happened there. So unfortunate for Doyle, because he's under pressure. He wants to make the top 6. It's not getting any easier as a consequence of that call.
Well, this Vojens track was designed by Ollie Olsen in conjunction with Peter Adams. They worked together at Coventry, Ollie and Peter, and it was based on the old Stoke Potters track at the old Luma Road, I'm told. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was based on the shape of the old Luma Road track, sadly no longer existence right now. But yeah, Peter Adams, Ollie Olsen, that's the story. Bartosz Zmarzlik up the inside gate in red. Emil Saifutinov goes off gate number 2 in blue. No rider off the Doyle excluded. And then off the outside is Anders.
I'm not sure that information would please Jason Doyle anymore, but about the Luma Road connection, but there we go.
Just thought it might be listening, you know, an interesting fact for our viewers.
It is.
Thank you.
It is, and it's an interesting fact for me, because I certainly didn't know. I actually thought it was based on Coventry, but I'm mistaken, because as you rightly say, they worked there together. Heat number 10, rerun, here we go.
Good start from Saifutinov, and now he locks up on Bartosz Zmarzlik. He's got the lead. Saifutinov picks himself up after that fall, and now Thompson coming around the outside of the world champion Bartosz Zmarzlik, but he holds his line. Thompson really having a go here. Saifutinov has the lead. Bartosz Zmarzlik second. Anders Thompson trying the inside run here now, but look at this from Emil. He is kicking on.
Yeah, we're adding insult to injury here for Jason Doyle on the rerun. The man he had the collision with has hit the front, made a fabulous start from gate number 2, and is really now showing a clean pair of heels to the world champion back in second place, Thompson back in third. But Saifutinov has got speed here. He's looking really good, and as hard as Zmarzlik tries, he can make no inroads. The Russian rocket is flying here, and he's going to pick up his first win of the night.
Yeah, this is a huge boost for Emil Saifutinov, because he was only on 3 points from 2 rides. He's now on 6 from 3. More like it from Emil Saifutinov. And Anders Thompson, the Dane, he takes a point, but he's only got 2 from 3. He'll be gutted about that in his home Grand Prix. But great stuff from Emil Saifutinov. And for Bartosz Zmarzlik, 7 points from 3 rides. All he's bothered about is getting into the semis and into the final. That's the key. But the way Leguta's riding tonight, he's got so much speed.
Yeah.
Hard to see past him.
It is. Sorry, Nige, crack on.
Saifutinov, Zmarzlik, Thompson and Doyle, you were saying?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but Bartosz Zmarzlik seems to be able to turn it around, even if he's a little up and down in the qualifying races. Got a feel for Leguta, because Leguta is so consistent in every qualifying heat. He really does put the hard yards in. Second time of asking, just the 3 of them. Fabulous start from Saifutinov. Watch this. Gate number 2, he sits up, allows the bike to go forward, controls it on the clutch, and hits the front nicely. And away he goes. And Zmarzlik there in second place can do very little about it, because actually tonight Emil looks really quite quick indeed. Anders Thompson, well, not quite being able to back up the speed and the performance from Russia 2 weeks ago. But Emil, well, this is exactly what he needs, because he's looking for a medal. He's looking for 3rd place. Can't see him getting to silver or gold, but bronze is a realistic target for him.
Zmarzlik, 7 points from 3. So far, so good. Steady as you go. Doing okay.
Do you think he knows steady? I'm not sure he does. He's such an exciting rider, isn't he?
Yes.
He'll be a little frustrated there because he had that race won really in the initial stages, but still nonetheless 7 points out of 9 is decent.
Yeah.
No,
steady.
no.
Not like your old engine tuner who told to go a little bit slower in a world long track.
That's on the last lap. Yeah,
What was all that about?
Ride slowly on the last lap.
Yeah, remarkable.
Okay.
That's your engine tuner. Because your bike might blow up.
Yeah, we're not sure if he can finish the last lap.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, heat number 11. Artem Laguta off the inside. Freddie Lindgren off 2. Ty Woffenden, he goes off gate 3. Leon Madsen off the outside. It's a mouth-watering lineup, this, for heat number 11, Kel.
It is indeed, and Artem Laguta has been in sensational form once again. Got to say that that pass around the outside of Max Frick last time was a terrific ride, and he's not just doing it from the tapes this year. He's being able to show some great tenacity once the race unfolds. Here we go.
Yeah, very, very nervy and edgy off the outside there in this race, heat number 11. But look at Laguta looking absolutely superb, and he kicks on clear down that back straight. Woffenden holds second spot right now. Madsen under serious pressure from Freddie Lindgren of Sweden, who comes through right now. But Madsen now on the inside run. He's going to take Lindgren wide. Lindgren spots the opportunity to really swoop back up the inside. That was ruthless speedway, and this is just for a point.
Yeah, that was tough, wasn't it? Ruthless Speedway is absolutely spot on. Freddie Lindgren was having none of that, was he? He just literally charged and just waved the back wheel at him as he went by.
Got a bit angry there, Kelv.
Just a touch. But out in front, Artem Laguta is dominating the race again. Woofenden pushing hard in second place. Can't do anything about Artem Laguta, and Freddie Lindgren, he'll pick up the point, and Madsen will miss out this time. But for this man, it's going to remain unbeaten. He's flying tonight.
Can anybody stop Artem Laguta tonight? He is like a juggernaut ploughing on, and that is simply a sensational ride from Artem Laguta. He's doing it all from the start. He's making it look easy, and he's not just winning races, he is winning them emphatically.
Yeah, absolutely. And when he hits the front, he wins comfortably. And even when he's been behind tonight, he passed Frick and just fired away and looked $1 million. Really riding well again.
Yeah, Woffenden second, Lindgren third, and Madsen at the back that time. He'll be really disappointed about that. Laguta, 9 points out of 9, 2 points clear of his title rival, Bartosz Marslik, after 3 rides.
Yep, 222. Let's watch him again on the inside here. This is textbook Laguta, where he just sits nice and calmly on the start, so consistent. Madsen nervous. He was very nervous and untidy going to the first corner, and this time he misses out. And after a strong start, just dipping out, but he's still got time. Runs in really, well, he's a bit fortunate there. You can see that Freddie Lindgren quite clearly not happy with that move from Leon Madsen. But for the moves out in front, Artem Laguta absolutely perfect here this evening. Unbeaten so far. He's already in the semi-finals. Now just beginning to build on those 9 points to make sure he gets the #1 pick for the semi-finals. Woofenden working hard, 5 points from 3 outings. Yet to win a race, but he's got the inside gates to come.
Gives him a nice basis from which to build on to try and get into the semi-finals.
Yeah, agreed.
The way this meeting's going, can anybody get near? I don't mean can anybody beat, can anybody actually get near Artem Laguta?
The only thing I would say is that with the point scoring system we now encounter, no matter if he goes through the card and gets 15, it means nothing going into the semi-finals, and that's when it gets tough, when you're going so well. And that's when Smarslik comes into his own, doesn't he? We've seen him turn it around and pick up the big points, even if he struggled earlier on.
Agreed. Janowski goes off the inside here, then Max Frick of Australia off gate 2. Robert Lambert of Great Britain, 4 points from 2 rides. He's off gate 3 in white. And then Christoph Kasperzak going off the outside in yellow. Another disappointing night for the Pole. Surely his Grand Prix career is in the latter stages now. 2 rounds to go after tonight in Torrent. Don't forget the Speedway of Nations qualifiers next weekend, Friday and Saturday. And here we go with heat number 12 in Vojens, and away from the start they go, and it's Max Frick in blue. He's made a good start. What can Lambert do now? Charging down the middle. Oh, he's on one wheel, but he comes through, and that's a really good ride. I nearly said a tidy ride from Lambert, but it was a scrappy ride, but he's got the lead. And now Frick in second spot. Janowski charging hard, Kasperzak at the back, but look at this from Robert Lambert.
This is exactly what he needed, Nigel. He was a little bit untidy there, and he forced his way through the inside to get the better of the Australian Frick. Got to say that Janowski was shaking his head on the way to the first corner with the bike not hooking up. Kasprzak has given up at the back, and Frick now having to ride defensively to hold Janowski back in third place. But this is super stuff. 4 points coming into this race for Lambert. He's going to move on to 7, and that is good news for the British rider.
Great chance to make the semi-finals from here. He's still got 2 rides to go, Robert Lambert, and he's on 7 points from 3 rides. Terrific stuff from him. Maciej Janowski third, and Krzysztof Kasprzak did not finish. He retired from that race. And the British boy, Robert Lambert, absolutely delighted.
Super. Yeah, that's good news for Robert Lambert, you know, because we've seen him last time out in Russia really have a disappointing night, but 7 points out of 9 is a really good effort, and every chance of making the semi-finals here this evening.
Frick was second, yep. Max Frick second, Maciej Janowski was third, and Krzysztof Kasprzak retired. Now, the leaderboard, Laguta on 9, and you have Zmarzlik and Lambert on 7 points apiece.
That was much better from Robert Lambert. Seems like he's working well under pressure.
Like we said at the beginning of the show, they've really got to work with their team. What's really important is that you go to the line being sure and confident that you've made the right choices, because if you roll up to those tapes and you're not sure you've made the right choice, then you kind of, the race is almost beaten, especially at this level.
Yeah, well, we were going to talk about Jason Doyle, but we don't quite have time, so we'll maybe come to that exclusion on the next round of heats. But let's get to this Heat 12 then, and join your commentators, Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
Heat number 13 it is then, Krzysztof Kasprzak off the inside gate. Then it's Bartosz Zmarzlik, the world champion, back-to-back world champion. Then Leon Madsen, gate 3 off white. And Mikkel Mikkelsen goes off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. This is the 4th heat for each of these riders. Heat number 13 through to heat 16 are the 4th round of qualifying races.
Yep.
And the scorecard taking shape.
It is indeed, and this is when the pressure really can ramp up if you're on the cusp of trying to make the semi-finals. This man, unfortunately, will not be. Another disappointing night for KK. Mikkelsen, who dipped out last time from gate 3, will be looking for better fortune this time from gate number 4. Jason Doyle having a chat with the Mark Lemon there on the right, the Australian team manager, and hoping to bounce back from the exclusion last time. But this man on 7 points is having a solid night, the world champion, looking for a hat-trick of world championships. What an achievement that would be. Really would be quite something special.
Start marshal looked a bit annoyed there, but anyway, they're off and running, and Zmarzlik has made a good start off gate number 2. Now he's going to be hard to pass, as Mikkelsen had to get off the gas there, because right up the back wheel of Zmarzlik, the man in red here is Krzysztof Kasprzak, as Mikkelsen goes wide down the home straight now, charging hard.
Indeed, and it was Leon Madsen that went even wider, Nigel.
Yes.
Just disappeared out of shot completely. Mikkelsen now coming through into second place. Look at that, so slippery out there, and Kasprzak does well just to avoid the air fence, and that allows Madsen into the points, and that could be a vital point for Leon Madsen in the context of the semi-finals. Zmarzlik is away. Track is greasy again after the track grading and watering between 12 and 13. But for Mikkel Mikkelsen, he's a touch fortunate there. Madsen struggling in third. But Bartosz Zmarzlik, well, a clean pair of heels, is going to pick up another win. 10 points for him.
Yeah, looking easy here, isn't it? Bartosz Zmarzlik from start to finish. Then the man in yellow, Mikkel Mikkelsen. And that was a real battle with Leon Madsen, as Krzysztof Kasprzak did well to avoid the air fence.
Well, Madsen did exactly the same, Nigel, on the first lap,
yes,
where he just literally slid across that first corner, or the bottom corner rather, the pit corner. Clearly no grip out wide at all, but for that man, the world champion, the championship leader coming into tonight, responding to the pressure that Artem Laguta is applying to him, winning in fine style.
Yeah, and 2 big points for Mikkel Mikkelsen, moves him on to 8 with 1 race to go. And Madsen is on 7, so an opportunity for Mikkelsen to make the semi-finals here.
Yeah.
And guaranteed a place in next year's World Championship, remember that. Bartosz Zmarzlik, 10 out of 12, and this is how he did it from gate 2.
Yeah, he made a great start from gate number 2. Leon Madsen makes a poor one. His starting is not great. He's actually just slow on dropping the clutch. And they find himself at the back. And the freshly prepared track after heat number 12, it was very greasy. Look at that again around the outside. Mikkel Mikkelsen actually finally gets the better of Kasperzak up the inside. And then he hangs on for the second place. And Kasperzak, well, he's very fortunate here. Look at that, he's going backwards there. And just shows you how greasy it was out wide, difficult. But for Bartosz Zmarzlik, a fairly straightforward race by his standards, wasn't it? A lights to flag win for him. And he's moving on to 10 points. He's in the semi-final. And this showdown between Laguta and Zmarzlik continues. You just sense it's going to go the distance this year.
You do indeed. Bartosz Zmarzlik 139, Artem Laguta 138. That's before tonight in the title race. And it is going to be fascinating to see how it develops with the two semis and the final a little bit later on tonight. But plenty more action to come before then. Heat 14 is up next, and that man Laguta is out here in the white helmet colour. He's the unbeaten man so far. 9 points out of a possible 9. Thompson off the inside from Denmark. Mats Janowski going off gate number 2 in blue. Artem Laguta, unbeaten maximum man, gate 3. And Martin Vasilik going off the outside in yellow. It really is hard to see anybody beating Artem Laguta on this occasion.
Yeah, gate number 3 hasn't been great this evening and probably is the worst gate. We haven't seen the stats on that. But Laguta, he can make starts from anywhere.
He can, but he hasn't here. He's got work to do now. The lead is with Thompson. Watch out for Laguta up the inside. Here he comes now. He's just looking over his shoulder. He can see the rider in blue is Mats Janowski in second spot. The lead, though, is with Anders Thompson. He picked up some drive there unexpectedly. And now Janowski comes through. Laguta is third. Here comes Laguta into second place now. He's got that speed. And Laguta now is going to take up the challenge to try and hunt down Mats Janowski. We've got a race on now.
We have indeed, and I'll tell you what, he's not going to pick gate number 3 from the semi-finals, is he? I'll tell you what, that was a nightmare for Laguta, who's the best starter in the world, but he went nowhere there. Janowski, well, he's fought his way through to the front. You've got to feel for Thompson. Thompson was in a commanding position here, but he's allowed it to slip. Janowski out in front, this is more like it from him. And the 2 points for Artem Laguta to move on to 11 will do very nicely indeed.
Well, Mats Janowski takes the victory. I did say, didn't I? I did say it's really hard to see anybody beating Artem Laguta.
Yeah, he spoke too soon, didn't he?
That went well then, didn't it?
It did, yeah, rather backfired. But there's no question that gate number 3, we saw it with Mikkel Mikkelsen earlier on this evening, where gate 3 was just slick and hard and no grip at all. Janowski finally picks up a heat win where it's been so tough and points have been extremely hard to come by for the pole, but he picks up a valuable win there.
Janowski the winner from Laguta, from Thompson. Vasilik retired. We've had 14 heats of the Danish FIM Speedway Grand Prix, and it's Artem Laguta who leads the meeting so far on 11 points, looking good to head the qualifiers, pending a 5th round of races.
See that, he just couldn't get the bike hooked up at all. Thompson made a smashing start off the inside, but he doesn't stay there. That's a disappointment for the Danish man. He's had a difficult night, Anders Thompson, and he's in the box seat here, and he just can't quite manage to stay in front. He gets a little bit out of shape, and Janowski, that's the moment there, out of shape, runs wide. Janowski squares the corner off and dives up the inside. And then, of course, Artem Laguta, he's not going to miss out, is he? This is the moment when Anders Thompson effectively goes from first to third, because he loses his speed, he loses his momentum, and he slips back. For that man, well, I think there'll be a wry smile on his face, but 5 points, still not going to be a very happy camp, I would suggest.
Turn into a frustrating GP season for Mats Janowski, that's for sure. Battle of the Brits in Heat 15, Woffinen and Lambert side by side on the start line. And the man in red is Oliver Berntsson of Sweden. Woffinen will go off gate number 2 in blue. He's on a warning, as is Berntsson. Woffinen needs points here, only 5 so far. Robert Lambert off gate 3 on 7. And Emil Saifutinov going off the outside with 6 points to his name.
Yeah, Robert Lambert might not have got the right start here at this time. It's a tough race, Saifutinov going well, but Lambert won nicely last time, and Woffinen looking for his first win on the evening.
The tape tries pretty quickly there, and Woffinden's made a nice, tidy start. And Lambert's holding second spot, but he's tried the inside run. Robert Lambert really pushing his fellow countryman Ty Woffenden hard. Here comes Emil Saifutinov in yellow as well. But Robert Lambert holding second spot. Woffenden holding the line. He's an intelligent rider, he's an experienced rider, but he's going to need all that because the young man Robert Lambert is pushing him hard.
Yeah, well, let's hope that we see this in the Speedway of Nations in a few weeks' time. And in Manchester, because these two boys are dominating the race, although Saifutinov is coming on strong in second place.
Right.
Second place, tight, really tight. The Russian rocket now forces his way through into second place. Woffenden, superb out of gate number 2, is going to win his first heat of the night. That's more like it for the 3-time world champion.
Yep, heat number 15 it is, and Ty Woffenden is going to really boost his chances of making the semi-finals because he's going to move on to 8 points now from 4 rides. And Saifutinov really had to work hard there to get the better of Robert Lambert, but that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And Lambert, though, still now, he's on 8 points as well, level with Woffenden, so it's looking good for the British boys to make it through to the semi-finals. I thought Lambert may have been able to pass Woffenden early on, but then he was reeled in by Saifutinov, and he ended up in 3rd spot. Woffenden, Saifutinov, Lambert and Berntsen, your finishing order of heat number 15.
Yeah, but that's good news for Ty Woffenden. A little bit disappointing for Lambert to have slipped back to 3rd place there. I fancy he would have been desperate to hang on to 2nd place, but it wasn't quite the case. We're seeing it again now. Woffenden makes a smashing start out gate number 2. Gate 2 seems to be working really well this evening. Lambert makes a great first corner and very nearly hits the front here and can't quite force his way to the front. But then Emil Saifutinov, once again, who's got pace tonight, he's got speed, and he makes it work well here, and he eventually gets the better of Lambert, who probably was a little bit too wide there, but that's being very critical indeed. But for Ty Woffenden out in front, and for Lambert, both on 8 points, and they've both won races tonight, that will certainly play their part and maybe help them out in countback if it's required for the semi-final. But for that man with 1 race to go off the inside gate, I suggest we're going to see him in the semi-finals this time. 8
points for Saifutinov, Lambert and Woffenden. Just mentioning the Speedway of Nations at Bellevue in Manchester.
Yeah.
On the Saturday and the Sunday, the 17th and 18th of October. And the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester in Great Britain. And you say Woffenden and Lambert, but would Simon Stead and Ollie Allen be tempted by Woffenden and Dan Bewley, a Bellevue rider?
Yeah, Bewley will come into the equation for sure, but there's no question that Simon Stead and Oliver Allen have got a massive, big call to make, because Lambert and Woffenden riding the Grand Prix.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Freddie Lindgren off the inside gate, then Matty Zagar, gate 3 in white is Max Frick, and Jason Doyle off the outside, but really looking forward to those 2 days in Manchester.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
A wonderful speedway track, superbly designed, nice facilities. It's going to be great.
It's going to be a fantastic way to finish the season. If the weather behaves, it'll be smashing.
Don't mention the weather, it's going to be fine.
It'll be lovely, it'll be sunny, yeah, okay.
Heat 16, here we go, and it's a good start from the man in white, and that is Max Frick of Australia, who charges around the outside. Oh, Freddie Lindgren all over the place, and now charging hard is Jason Doyle in the yellow helmet colour. Zagar in trouble.
Oh, Jason Doyle once again.
He's at it again.
He was at it again. He's a little bit fortunate, and clearly frustration almost boiling over there. And Zagar did well to hang on to the bike. Freddie Lindgren now into 3rd place. Max Frick once again really desperate to pick up the 3 points here. Doyley working overtime. Keep your eyes on the yellow helmet colour. He's not done with yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going the long way round, but he is gaining speed and gaining ground. And Jason Doyle, 1 lap to go with his fellow countryman in the lead, Max Frick. Doyle has gone wide that time, and I don't think he's going to have enough to get the better of Max Frick. He's really dug deep there. It's been a brave effort from Jason Doyle, but Max Frick takes the checkered flag, and that's a really good win for young Max Frick of Australia in the white helmet colour. Jason Doyle really wound it on. Really got stuck in, didn't he?
He did indeed, and I thought for a moment that Doyley was going to get to the front, but fair play to Frick. Good start from gate number 3, because that's not really the best place to start from. We've seen problems from there with several riders, but Frick picks up a valuable win.
Doyle second and Lindgren third. And Freddie Lindgren now, you know, is only on.
Now he's been at the top of his game, and you think now with the experience and the support he's had, you think the consistency would be there now.
Just look at that top 12. Anybody down to Lindgren there, who you just saw in on that graphic in 12th position, can make the semi-finals. That's how tight it is. Every single point matters.
It is, and it's always this last block of races where it gets really interesting because the guys know that, and the semi-finals are where the prizes happen. So
yeah, they can't afford to make any mistakes. Let's get straight to your action. Of course, it is with Kelvin and Nigel.
Here we go with heat number 17 and the final round of races before the semi-finals, 17 to 20. Mikkel Mikkelsen off the inside, 8 points so far. Artem Laguta wins this race and will top the scorers going into the semis. Jason Doyle needs a win here. He's off gate 3 in white, and Robert Lambert is off the outside gate to his name so far. So Jason Doyle, hopefully that exclusion won't be too costly for him.
Well, he's under pressure as a consequence.
He's under huge pressure, yeah.
Yeah, and he's really hasn't won a race tonight either, so a race win here is probably going to be required. Artem Laguta dropped his first point last time, but battled his way through into second place, so no real damage done for him, coming in on a nice 11 points in the comfort zone in some regard. Mikkelsen battling hard for 2 points last time. Lambert's ready, he's on the outside, looking for a big one here, wants to make the semi-finals. Can he add to 8 points? He's ridden well tonight.
Ready to go. Mikkelsen off the inside in red the day. Oh, Doyle!
It was Lambert first.
Lambert first, yeah, OK. The red lights are not on. And Mikkel Mikkelsen is kicking on here in the red helmet killer. Disaster for Doyle. Lambert into second, Doyle third. Laguta, somewhat surprisingly, is at the back, has just passed Jason Doyle into third now. But Mikkel Mikkelsen has the lead, but got to see that start again.
Yeah, well, Lambert moved first, and then Doyle jumped, and Doyle on the outside in a freshly prepared track. Very difficult indeed. Laguta struggled as well away from gate number 2. An untidy start. I thought the red lights would come on, but Mikkel Mikkelsen, this is good news. The Danes are loving this. They're on their feet, that's for sure. Lambert hanging on to second place. Good news for Lambert. He's going to go through on 10 points into the semi-finals, and Laguta will finish on 12. But for Mikkel Mikkelsen, wins his first and last qualifying race. Good news for the European champion.
11 points in Vojens for Mikkel Mikkelsen. He's into the semi-finals, and the home fans are absolutely delighted with that. Understandably so, he's done them proud tonight. Wonderful performance, and we're going to see him in the SGP Series in 2022 as well. Robert Lambert worked hard. Good ride from him to add a couple of points to his total, and finishes on 10 points from his 5 rides.
Good work.
Robert Lambert. Artem Laguta has to settle for a point, and this is where it gets interesting now. Can Smarslik see encouraging signs that he can beat Laguta and head to Torrent with more of a cushion than just a point in the final 2 rounds of the series? Laguta on 12, but Smarslik, he, with a win in his last ride, will have first pick of gate positions in the semis.
Watch Lambert.
Yeah.
He just moves there, and that means that
Doyle followed him, yeah.
Doyle followed him, and that actually really doesn't do Doyle any favours at all.
So it's an unsatisfactory start and should have been pulled back?
Agreed. It was untidy, but the referee will argue that Doyle and Lambert actually penalised themselves, although Lambert actually picks up a very handy second place. Difficult after the track grade, can't go off the inside. Look at Doyle there, momentarily into third place, but Laguta then replaced the complement. Lambert's right up behind Mikkel Mikkelsen, and Mikkelsen knows that he just needs to hug the inside, and another race victory is his. Good riding from Mikkelsen tonight. He'll be proud of himself. He's doing his country proud as well. 11 points out of 15. He's looking good. He's into the semi-finals. Robert Lambert will join him. Jason Doyle, so desperate to qualify through in the top 6 in the world. It's looking unlikely now.
Yes, good stuff from Robert Lambert. Ridden nicely tonight.
He needed this.
Yes.
Just to remind the organisers that actually I'm a rider with me when it comes to the wildcard picks from 2022.
Yes, indeed. 2022 will be interesting. Still awaiting news on a calendar and venues with new rights holders of the series, of course. It'll be interesting to see where the series ends up next year. Lindgren off the inside gate for Sweden. Then Anders Thomsen off gate number 2. Disappointing night for Anders after reaching the final in Russia. Kasprzak off gate number 3, and Berntsen off the outside gate in yellow. Fredrik Lindgren, no race wins, 5 points from 4 rides. He's going to have any hope whatsoever. He's got to win this race, and even then, he's up against it for a semi-final spot, but he's made a lovely start. Kasprzak up the inside, but now, here comes Anders Thomsen in blue into that second spot. The lead, though, is with Fredrik Lindgren, and Kasprzak having a real go here. We haven't seen anything like this all season long from KK. Thomsen wide. Now Thomsen has to try the inside run.
Yeah, Kasprzak riding nicely there, just crept round the inside and passed him pretty sweetly, actually. Anders Thomsen trying to repay the compliment, can't quite get there. But Freddie Lindgren, the red-hot favourite for this race, is duly delivering, and he's cleared off out in front. He'll pick up the 3 points and move on to 8. He hasn't had a great night, actually, Freddie. It's been a bit untidy by his own high standards. But he needs to make the semi-finals because he's battling with Saifutinov for 3rd in the world. Down the back straight for the last time. Anders Thomsen desperately now working his way back into 2nd place. Good effort from him.
Yes, and it's a big win for Freddie Lindgren because it puts him on to 8 SGP points tonight. Time will tell whether he actually makes it, but Oliver Berntsen at the back. His disappointing season continues. He has said tonight that he would like to get back in the series at some stage in the future. And Anders Thomsen, his night is over on 5 points this evening. That'll be a major disappointment in his home Grand Prix for Anders Thomsen after making the final in Russia. Massive disappointment. Lindgren the winner, Thomsen 2nd, Kasprzak 3rd, and Oliver Berntsen at the back in heat number 18 as Lindgren just edges in to the top 8.
Yeah, Leon Metz can overhaul him, and so can Max Frick. So a patient wait for Freddie. 8 might not be enough tonight. But yeah, you're right about Anders Thomsen, because finishing 3rd in Russia 2 weeks ago, you would have thought that, you know, particularly coming into his home round, he would have been really keen to have done well this evening, and he would have had high hopes, but it hasn't worked out for him. And even in this race, he rode well initially, you know, but then Kasprzak passed him, but he does well to get back into 2nd place, which is to his credit. But is he doing enough to warrant a pick? Well, I would say probably not. It's going to be difficult, but Freddie Lindgren, that may have come to his rescue, but Emil Saifutinov possibly is going to be in a position to overhaul him in the championship standings.
Yeah, big ride from Lindgren, that, because of course that battle for bronze, as you've mentioned, Kel. Before tonight, Lindgren 108, Saifutinov 105.
Yep.
Now Woofenden here in the red helmet colour, heat number 19. He's on 8 points already, so looking good for a place in the semi-finals.
Yeah, a point here would do him nicely, wouldn't it?
Yes.
And he will go through. He'll be looking for more, of course. He's got the inside gate, so a good chance of a victory.
5 world titles between the 2 riders on the inside. Woofenden has 3, Smarslik has 2. Can he make it 3 this year? Janowski off gate number 3, and then Zegar of Slovenia going off the outside gate. This is heat number 19, the penultimate race of qualifying before we move into the semis and the final. And away they go into that first turn, and Woofenden's made a good one off the inside run. Now, can he keep Smarslik at bay? Smarslik on the inside run, but Woofenden holds the line. Here comes Smarslik up the inside. Woofenden now has got to clamp the line to deny Smarslik, and Zegar coming around the outside and having a go. The man at the back, disappointingly for Maciej Janowski of Poland, but Smarslik is pushing Woofenden hard up the inside.
Yeah, it's done him this time. Once again, the world champion, absolutely determined to get to the front. Woofenden initially super away from the tapes, and just wasn't able to resist the charge from the championship leader there. And got to say, this is good news for Smarslik. He's going to finish on 13 points. He's going to overhaul Laguta and Smarslik going into the semi-finals. Just a point between them once again on the night. Smarslik is now cleared off out in front. Woofenden with 2 points. That's enough for the semi-finals for him.
Yes, absolutely, but Smarslik convincing in the end, and Woofenden will be disappointed with that. Striving for speed from the engine, but outpaced by Bartosz Smarslik there. They get on great, these two. There's huge respect between the two of them, but there's no doubt Smarslik has got more speed in the engine than Woofenden there.
Yeah, I would say he's got more confidence as well, Nigel.
Yes.
I think the two go hand in hand a bit. And Smarslick rode nicely to get the better of Woofenden there.
Yeah, Woofenden in second spot, but that is enough for him to finish on a double-figure haul of 10 points. He's in the semis. Smarslick on 13 now will top the scorers going into the semi-finals as we prepare for heat number 20. So advantage Smarslick again.
Yes, it is. A nice start from Woofenden on the inside. And it looked like Woofenden was going to be able to win this. But you've got to give credit to Smarslick, who rode really strongly to actually get the better of Woofenden by charging up the inside. He actually tried the move once, it didn't quite work. And then the second time of asking, there was a bit more room, and he was able to sweetly move up the inside and get the better of Woofenden. And then moving on. Once he does hit the front, I'll tell you what, he shows great speed, and that's a bit of a marker down to Artem Laguta, who I'm sure was keenly looking on. A lot of respect between those two boys, as you rightly say. 5 world championships, genuine top class between those two riders. Smarslick pushing on. Can he make it 3 world championships on the spin? Only one other man has ever done that, and that man was Ivan Major. But for Woofenden with 3 world championships in his back pocket already, 10 points tonight, good work.
Yes, indeed. Heat number 20 it is. And riders up at tapes, ready to go. After this race, we'll have some more track rating, and then we're into the semi-finals of the Danish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. So good for the series to be back in Denmark after missing out last year. Vojens Speedway Centre, such an iconic venue. Heat number 20 it is, and that man is Emil Sayfutdinov, the Russian rocket, and he's off the inside gate. Leon Madsen goes off gate number 2, has been ill in the build-up to the meeting, declared himself ready to race this morning. Martin Vašilik off gate 3 in white, not 100% race fit, but at the same time not in any pain from his previous injury. And it's Max Frick going off the outside gate as we see the 2 Danish reserves, who haven't had an opportunity tonight.
Pressure on heat 20, that's for sure. Sayfutdinov pushing for the semi-final, should make it. Madsen certainly needs a big result here as well. Oh, he's missed it. Yep,
and an untidy start, but Emil Sayfutdinov has got the lead here in this race, and they're all bunching up down the back straight. Here comes Frick on the inside in yellow. Max Frick really having a go here. The man in white is Martin Vašilik, who holds second spot. Leon Madsen, is he just running out of steam? Is he still feeling the effects of illness? Because in heat number 20, he's gone to the back. But look at this from Emil Sayfutdinov.
Yeah, looking good. The Russian rocket made a great start. Leon Madsen made a poor one and finds himself relegated to the back, and track conditions dictate that you must make starts tonight, otherwise life is going to be really tough for you. Martin Vašilik in second place. I don't think 7 points will be enough tonight. I think that his night may well be over, and the mechanical failure he had in the previous race is going to cost him dear. But out in front, Emil Sayfutdinov looking good.
Madsen charging through. He needs the point here. Battling hard to get the better of Max Frick, and the Danish fans are delighted with that. Great ride from Leon Madsen. I thought he might just be running out of steam, but Emil Sayfutdinov matches his fellow countryman Artem Laguta tonight by getting through to the semi-finals. He's on 11, Laguta's on 12, but they're both in the semis. And it is going to be a great battle ahead. Effectively, the top 8 now wipe the slate clean, because it depends on where you finish in the semis and the final for your Grand Prix points to be allocated. Sayfutdinov the winner, Vašilik in second spot, Madsen got a point in third, and Max Frick at the back.
This year, so Bartosz Smarslick first pick, gate 1, and the inside is how you go.
I don't think there's going to be too many hesitations for gate 1, gate 2, gate 4, then gate 3.
Okay, gate 2.
Nobody
gate
wants
3
gate 3.
really not working, is it? Even Artem Laguta couldn't make a start of gate 3.
No, exactly.
Here we go, Robert Lambert, great that he's in the semi-finals, seems to have really thought maybe long and hard about things and knew that he needed to perform.
Definitely so, and you know, and in his interview earlier, he said that they'd found a couple of little things with the engines, and you know, when you're having a tough time and you do find that there's been a small problem with an engine, I know there's genuinely something wrong, nothing major, but it takes the edge off. And at this level, nothing can be off 1%. And so for him, that will have been a big boost for him mentally to know, OK, it's not me, there is a slight issue with the motor. And
so Artem Laguta going for gate 1. Just in that semi-final one, we saw Leon Madsen fortunately get gate 3. We mentioned Mikkelsen doing really well coming back into the Grand Prix. Looking forward to next season and seeing what he's got.
Definitely, and I think coming into surprise time.
Just hang on a sec. Yeah. Sorry, Mikkelsen, and that question I just asked you. But why did Tai Woffinden go for gate 3?
I have no idea. I mean, gate 3's been a graveyard, but again, between those two guys for that bronze medal, so there's a lot at stake in these two semi-finals. Emil coming out on screen now. He's rode good tonight, and he's looked much more like the Emil we know. Like he said, he's had that speed. But Robert Lambert, I mean, fantastic night for him. I know he's been finding it tough. I think the pressure's getting to him, and mentally, the Grand Prix knock you around. Something terrible if you're not on top of your game. He knows what he's capable of. Everybody knows what he can, but at this level, it's exceptionally hard. And I think he's found it quite tough, but he's bounced back tonight and see if he can make it through to that final.
And it can be self-perpetuating, can't it? Like a vicious cycle.
Massively.
In terms of the starts, they've got to make one, basically. If they want to do anything to Artem Laguta and Bartosz Zmarzlik, the riders getting ready there for this semi-final one. Who knows what could happen? Let's get straight to it then with Kelvin and Nigel.
Semi-final time in Vojens with Bartosz Zmarzlik, the series leader, off the inside gate. Emil Sayfutdinov going off gate number 2. And then it's Leon Madsen, who just managed to get in by the skin of his teeth with that 3rd place. And Robert Lambert off the outside in yellow. So good to see Robert back in some sort of form and making the semi-finals tonight.
Yes.
Can Zmarzlik continue his great form and make the final yet again? He's off the inside gate. No surprise, he went straight for it, Kel.
Yeah, no, I fancy him. I fancy the two riders on the inside 2 gates. Sayfutdinov and Zmarzlik are the form riders, really, coming into this race. Leon Madsen snatched 3rd place off of Frick, and that was an important point. Sees him in the first semi-final. Sayfutdinov is a big danger here. He's going well this evening, got speed, and wouldn't be a surprise if he won this semi-final. Gate 2's worked well, but Lambert, can he produce something spectacular off the outside to make the final this evening?
Zmarzlik on the inside, stares at the tapes, and he's made a great start. Bartosz Zmarzlik has that advantage. And now, Emil Sayfutdinov under huge pressure from Lambert in yellow, from Leon Madsen in white. Sayfutdinov holds the run, and I thought Madsen was going to clip his back wheel there. That could have ended in tears. The lead is with Bartosz Zmarzlik. Sayfutdinov surely has just got to maintain that inside run, and that was really tight as well.
It was indeed. Emil Sayfutdinov covering the inside, Madsen trying to go around the outside. Not sure that's going to work. It's a little bit greasy out there. And Robert Lambert very, very nearly got to 2nd place, but it's gone. Zmarzlik was a smashing start from gate number 1, and he's cleared off out in front. Into the last lap. Zmarzlik and Sayfutdinov set for the big final tonight.
Yeah, and it goes on. Bartosz Zmarzlik almost a length of a straight clear.
Yeah.
And that is a marker, a message to his rivals ahead of the grand final. He's in there. No major surprise. Bartosz Zmarzlik is coming good once again.
Yeah, he wants this 3rd world title, that's for sure, and Laguta has kept him really focused, and this evening Artem and Bartosz Zmarzlik has ridden really strongly throughout the evening, and that does lay down the marker to semi-final number 2, and in particular his closest rival in Artem Laguta. Come on now, you've got to do it if you want to keep up with me.
Zmarzlik and Sayfutdinov make it, Lambert and Madsen don't, and that Emil Sayfutdinov's 2nd spot puts him into the final with a minimum of 14 GP points tonight. That puts pressure on Freddie Lindgren, who's in the next semi-final, to make it as well in the battle for bronze.
Tight this was. They all knew where they wanted to be. 3 abreast coming out of the first corner, and Lambert very nearly got there, but he was caught on the outside, and with the freshly prepared track, no chance of going round the outside, and unfortunately the door was well and truly slammed shut on the inside there as well.
You're not coming through.
No, and Emil's been around a while now, and look how hard he's working hard to get that bike back to the inside to cover it, because otherwise Lambert would have snuck through into second place and into his first final of the year. Those two boys through, both of them going well, but in particular the man with the clean racing gear on the right-hand side.
Yes,
I think that's an indication of how well he's been going.
It is indeed. Emil has worked really hard tonight. Such a popular rider around the world, Emil Sayfutdinov, as we build up to the second semi-final. And Mikkel Mikkelsen appearing in this one. He goes off gate number 2, the European champion. Can he make the final in his home country? Semi-final 2, and pressure on this guy, Kel, Freddie Lindgren.
Yeah, Freddie's not ridden that well tonight. He's scrapped his way through to the semi-finals, but he knows what it's all about. And he often, when the chips are down, he'll come good. He's up against it with Laguta, Mikkelsen on the inside of him, and Woofenden's been riding strongly this evening as well, but Lindgren's just seen his closest rival go through to the final. Needs a big one here.
Yeah, Laguta, Mikkelsen, Woofenden and Lindgren. Laguta 1 point behind Smarslik in the world title race before this Grand Prix tonight. And Smarslik has already booked his place in the final. Laguta desperate to get there as well alongside him. Here we go. And away from the start, it's a good start from Artem Laguta. Mikkelsen holding second spot right now and challenging hard. The crowd roaring him on here. And Laguta has that lead. Now here comes Woofenden. Watch out for Ty Woofenden in white. He's gone around the high run around the outside. What can he do here? He's come around the outside of Mikkelsen. And he's staying in the dirt, Ty Woofenden. Now down that back straight, he's lost ground. Oh, he's just hold on to second spot now.
A little bit untidy from Woofenden, but he's in the final, as I say. But look at Lindgren. Lindgren now beginning to wind it on. He's in the third. Now he's chancing his arm wide on the turn, first turn. Now he's back up the inside. That race for second night is not over. Out in front, Laguta once again, a clean pair of heels to the... Oh, no! Oh, dreadful crash.
What on earth has happened there? Dear me. That's not good.
Mikkelsen lifted and ran straight into the side of Freddie Lindgren, halfway down the start and finish straight. Dreadful looking crash.
At high speed as well. We can only keep our fingers crossed that the boys aren't too badly hurt there. He's just picked up drive. He's on one wheel.
Well, he was out of control and he clouts the side of Freddie, and Freddie then is completely out of control. He does hit the air fence at the end of the start straight, but I am concerned about Freddie Lindgren. I'm concerned about both of them, but initially it was Mikkelsen that lost control.
Dear, dear, dear. Fingers crossed for the boys. Fingers crossed they're going to be okay. But that was really untidy. The dangers of Speedway right there.
Yeah, gosh, I think hear the applause for the crowd. We're really glad to see that. You said it's phenomenal. Were you worried?
Oh, God, yeah, because, I mean, they're at the end of the straight. They're going exceptionally fast. Obviously, Mikkelsen kind of went out of shot, but obviously we saw Freddie literally was over the front of the bike. He was a passenger, he couldn't get off, and it's, I've not been in that situation. I've been in situations where you know you can't get off the bike, you know you're going into fence. So for Freddie, that will have felt like an eternity before he hit the airbags. Just fortunately, we do have the air fence there now, and that 100% has saved Freddie. There's no question. You see Freddie
look
there.
At that. That is unbelievable.
That is
It's
phenomenal.
so good to see them both there now, talking to each other, shaking their head. You can see how the shoulders are down and the effect that's had on them, the probably adrenaline that's running through their body as well. Freddie holding his hand there, but it's so good to see that, they're clear and they're okay in terms of...
The fact he's standing...
Mikkelsen and Freddie Lindgren there, but semi-final one here. Smarslik out there in front. I was almost watching this battle between the three riders rather than Smarslik on this one.
Oh, well, he'd gone, hadn't he?
Yeah, and Sayfutdinov there shutting the door on Lambert. Shame that Lambert couldn't make that in the door on Lambert. Here's the gate selection then for the final. Smarslik, he's always so quick. I haven't even said anything and he's taken it.
Exactly.
So gate one,
No
of course he's going to go for that gate one. Artem
Gate
Laguta
two.
there. Gate two.
Be interesting to see next up if Emil goes for 3 or 4, because Ty went for 3.
Yeah, so Sayfutdinov's gone for that outside gate. We were talking, you were talking, so here we go. I love how Ty's having a bit of joke with it, about why he picked gate 3, but it worked.
It did.
It
He
worked, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, he actually made not a bad start for it. So riders now sitting there getting ready. The riders now sitting at this point here, they're looking out onto the track. They'll be pushed off any second now. This is where they'll be kind of doing all their little pre-race ritual. They'll be going over the race in their mind, and it's just weird how all the riders are different. Look, Ty's looking around behind him.
He's just sent his mechanic off, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Emil on the right there is just looking straight ahead, just ready to go off. And now's when the adrenaline.
I just wanted a drink.
The adrenaline is going to start to build even more now. They'll already obviously be amped up from the whole night, but now this is go time. This is when the heart rate will start to be lifting at that point. Obviously, the heart rates will be maxed out when they're at the start line. It's unbelievable how high their heart rates will get actually for such a short and intense competition.
Does what just happened affect a rider? Would that impact them seeing what
Good
just
point.
happened
It
to
can do,
Lindgren
yeah.
Nicholson?
It can, and it does affect. But some riders have got a better ability to just put that to one side. Looks like putting another airbag there, so if it wasn't completely repaired. So in delays like this, it kind of allows things like that to manifest. Fortunately, some of the riders won't have seen the crash, and I know if I was in a meeting like that and I didn't see the crash, there's no way I'd want to be watching it, not while you're in the meeting, because you can't have any negative thoughts in your head at all. The minute you've got that slight negative thought in your head, the person next to you's already got the upper hand. Yeah,
and you're only human at the end of the day. I think we look at speedway riders and it's like, they're just sat there ready to go on the bike after we've just seen such an impact. But, surely if you did watch that, it'd make you reflect maybe or think about your own
damaging. That would be amazing.
Yeah, absolute miracle.
Damage something.
You were talking about the adrenaline here, and I can imagine that you've got to try and do something to control that adrenaline. What did you used to do?
Definitely. It's always little routines, like I've always said about it before, but, just putting your goggles on a certain way, get on the bike a certain way. I always fiddle. Sorry?
What goes through your mind?
I'll kind of just picture how I want the race to go. But when you see something like that, it's hard to then blank that stuff out, but you have to, but we are human, like you said, and we're not machines.
Well, let's see what happens here in this final. We'll get straight to it. The air fence, airbag, whatever you want to call it, is fixed, and it's great to see Mikkelsen and Lindgren. OK, here's the final then, and the action with Kelvin and Nigel.
What a final, the title rivals side by side on the grid. Smarslik, the leader of the series before tonight, on 139 ahead of Laguta, the man alongside him on 138. Wuffendorf gate number 3, Sayfutdinov chasing a bronze medal, going off the outside. Really is fantastic to see Mikkelsen and Lindgren walk away from that crash, and the air fence put back in place so quickly, and we're ready for the grand final. And Kelvin, what a final lineup it is.
Yeah, fabulous lineup, genuine top quality on the line. The top two in the World Championship chase going head-to-head off gates 1 and 2. Could it be their night again? Can Laguta go back-to-back Grand Prix wins? He won in Russia so well. Looking good. Emil Sayfutdinov has ridden nicely this evening. Could it be him that comes through and wins the Grand Prix? No track grading here, no water on the track, so the outside may just prove to be the right place to be here in the big final in Vojens.
Here we go. The green light is on. Oh, Smarslik had a little nibble there, and now Laguta has the lead. Are we going to have a new leader of the World Championship going into Torun and the back-to-back weekend in 3 weeks' time? Artem Laguta has the lead. Bartosz Smarslik holds second. Here comes Emil Sayfutdinov. Oh, he's got to switch up the inside. Sayfutdinov switching up the inside. What a race this is now. And Sayfutdinov has gone past Smarslik. He's going to try and return the compliment up the inside run. But it's Laguta who's looking good for victory again tonight.
Smarslik got impatient on the start line, Nige. Oh, the action for second and third has been red hot, but Laguta's got away. He's going to win back-to-back Grand Prix. He's going to win his third Grand Prix of the year. He's going to go into Torun leading the World Championship. Smarslik's had to work really hard just to hang on to the 18 points in second place, but Artem Laguta looking like a world champion to me, Nige. much.
It's 158, please, 157. Laguta is the new leader of the World Championship going into Torun in 3 weeks' time, where we have back-to-back rounds to decide the World Champion. Wow, it is set up beautifully. And a third spot for Emil Sayfutdinov there as well. A good night for the Russian there. But Artem Laguta, what a fantastic performance. Woffinden congratulates him. And of course, after winning in Togliatti in the previous round, he's done it again in Vojens tonight.
What a season this man is enjoying. He has transformed his career. Always been a good rider, don't get me wrong, but this year he has elevated his performances to something very special indeed. Laguta wins in style.
Laguta the winner, Smarslik second, Sayfutdinov 16 points for him. That's a big result for him tonight. He moves on to 121. And Artem Laguta sets Torun up quite beautifully in 3 weeks' time.
They must be beginning to believe it's his year. He is riding so well, and when you consider how good Smarslik's been, Laguta is keeping pace with him and actually outdoing him in the last 2 Grand Prix.
Wow, what a final that was.
Yeah.
Laguta nailed it from the start. Smarslik was nervous and I thought just had a little nibble on the start line.
You're absolutely right. He was nervous, and that's why Laguta was patient, didn't get sucked into the tapes, and Laguta performed miracles on the start line again. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it.
Goes,
a little
moving.
bit. Oh,
there you go.
Tense. There's the long pause. But Laguta gets away beautifully out of gate number 2. Look at this. That bike drove nicely to the first corner. Such a great feeling. Sayfutdinov made Smarslik work really hard. Sayfutdinov got into second place on more than one occasion. And Bartosz Smarslik once again having to work overtime to pick up the 18 points and the second place. Here it is again.
What a move.
What a move that is. You're dead right. Charging on the back wheel. What a rider he is. Woffinden is in the box seat, isn't he? He's got the best seat in the house. Watching all the fireworks going on for second and third. Laguta is silky smooth out in front, picking up the 20 points. But what a world championship this is for this man. 222. He has come to the party this year. Greg Hancock said in his interview he's been very impressed with this man. He's looking like a champion to me, Nige.
2 rounds left in Torun. I can't call it, Kelv.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the fence again, aren't I?
Yeah, I think it could be his year.
Yes.
He just
Yeah,
keeps making the starts.
Yeah.
You know, and he's so consistent. Every time he's in double figures, he's never having to scrape into the semi-final. It's relatively stress-free, isn't it?
Yes.
And he's producing when he really needs to. Artem Laguta is the real deal right now.
He certainly is, and that's a big result for Emil Sayfutdinov as well. Third spot tonight in his bid to finish third in the world.
Well, he'll leapfrog Lindgren, won't he, now? And he'll have a bit of a cushion going into Torun for that bronze medal. Smarslik and Laguta, clearly a lot of respect between those 2 riders, but Artem Laguta, Bartosz Smarslik just having a sly look at the bike of Laguta's, because he realises that Laguta's beaten him in the last 2 Grand Prix. And he's not going away, so this chase for his 3rd consecutive world championship is far from easy.
Well, it's time to hear from the winner in Vojens tonight, Artem Laguta, with some reaction.
Artyom, congratulations on your 2nd straight victory in the SGP. You are now a leader of overall classification. How does that feel?
Yeah, thank you, boys. Thank you, people. Today win. I'm very happy. Today it's very good. Gate 1, Gate 2, Gate 3, all good. Final for me and Gate 2 in win. I'm happy. Thank you, my team. Thank you, my sponsors. Thank you, people, and thank you, my family, Avelina, Agnia, Adam. Yeah, I am very happy today. Now it's leader Speedway Grand Prix. Yeah. See you, Torun.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Torun is set up beautifully.
Well, I did him a disservice. He's won 4 Grand Prix, not 3. That's how good he's going. And my money's on him.
And Sayfutdinov 2 clear of Lindgren now in the bronze medal position. Here we go, let's take a look. So Sayfutdinov moves up from 4th to 3rd. Pot pickers, 121 ahead of Lindgren on 119, and Laguta goes from 2 to 1 and takes the #1 spot on 158 against 157.
I think there may be some people at home who haven't got a clue what you're talking about, but I know. A big move from Emil Sayfutdinov. Could there be 2 Russians in the top 3? And could they have their first World Speedway individual World Speedway champion? They've won the Speedway of Nations for the last 3 years. A hat-trick of wins for those 2 men, Emil Sayfutdinov and Artem Laguta. But Laguta, what a season, 4 Grand Prix wins, leading the World Championship with a point in hand over that man on his right. Bartosz Zmarzlik. It's going to be some showdown in Torun. Fantastic couple of meetings in prospect there.
Well, time for the presentations.
Well, slightly subdued, I suspect, after that dramatic semi-final incident with Freddie Lindgren. I'm sure part of everybody in the crowd, everybody in the stadium will be thinking of that. But nonetheless, it's... and also Sayfutdinov has ridden nicely tonight. I fancy if he could have had a little bit better run around that first corner, he could have won the meeting, but he looks reasonably happy to have got 3rd place, and he goes into the last 2 Grand Prix in 3rd place, so still an opportunity to finish in 3rd place.
Runner-up Bartosz Zmarzlik in Vojens. It was a real tense final, a real tough final.
Well, if you take Artem Laguta out of the equation, Bartosz Zmarzlik would be world champion.
It's astonishing the run of results he's on.
Yeah,
and he's 2nd in the World Championship.
Well, when you look at the first 2 meetings in Prague, he didn't do too bad. He didn't do well, 11 and 12, and then he went 20-20-20. He won 3 on the spin.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last 7 GPs, he's not been outside the top 2.
No, it's quite good.
And he's 2nd in the standings.
Exactly.
Goodness me.
You know, ordinarily you would think that he would be comfortably in the lead, but for that man, Artem Laguta, on top of the box once again, 2 consecutive wins, 4 Grand Prix, not 3, sorry Artem, but 4 Grand Prix wins this year.
Prague, Lublin, Togliatti and now Vojens.
Yeah, fantastic, and back-to-back victories with 2 rounds to come in Torun. It really is going to be spectacular. To be sold out there. The atmosphere will be electric.
Unbelievable.
And there's no question it will be something to behold. But in 3 weeks' time, we will be there. And these boys will go at it. And the championship will be decided, that's for sure.
Fantastic night of Speedway for Artem Laguta. We've seen better meetings, of course we have. Not helped by the rain earlier in the day, which meant the covers had to be on. And not ideal for track preparation, of course. But we've got the meeting on.
Yeah.
We've got through it. And the boys are enjoying themselves on the podium. Selfie time for Bartosz, Artem and Emil.
I would think if he does win the World Championship, Artem Laguta, this English may have to improve a touch because he's going to have an awful lot of interviews to do. We don't hear from him during the meeting.
We don't hear from him during the week either.
No, we don't. But Bartosz Zmarzlik and Artem Laguta, you said it earlier on, Nigel, we don't hear from him during the evenings.
Yeah.
But for Artem Laguta, he is pushing himself right in the forefront of the media attention. He is riding superbly well.